Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere, ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. You probably heard that Robert Frost poem in middle school or high school, and you probably heard it recited somewhat like that. If you look it up on the internet, you'll see many recitations. And it's a great poem. It stood the test of time. But what makes it great art? I think for that we have to ask, what is art? And in my humble opinion, art is something that's not complete when the creator finishes his or her work on it, but is only complete after the audience, the reader, the listener, the observer, relates to it or interprets it. And so you take books. What makes a book art? Is it a lot of words, a lot of pages, a lot of thought gone into it? No one would argue the dictionary is art. Why? Because there's no room for interpretation. You can't relate to a dictionary. How about the Oscar Mayer jingle? My Bologna has a first name. It's OSC. I can sing every word of that 40 plus years later, as I'm sure all of you can. But is it art? I don't think so. It's about a product that tells you exactly what to think about and even how to spell baloney the correct way. But it's not art because there's no room for interpretation. Don't get me wrong, that's not a comment on its quality. In the world of jingles, it's the stairway to heaven. I mean, it's amazing. It's great. But there's no ambiguity there. How about the visual arts? The Mona Lisa is arguably the most iconic painting of all time. But why? Is it because it's a perfect representation of some woman or Leonardo da Vinci? No, it's because no one can agree on what that little smirk means. See, it's discussion worthy. It elicits thought and feelings and debate and differences of opinion. And that's great. We'll never interpret the same piece of art the exact same way because we don't share the same background, the same education, the same life experiences. We see things differently. And that's what makes art so wonderful and discussion worthy. What makes it so fun. We don't have to agree. There's no right or wrong interpretation. So what did Robert Frost mean when he wrote this poem? I think it's arguable to say he was, as an artist, saying you should follow your own path, march to the beat of your own drummer. Don't follow everybody else's footsteps, and that's good. I like it. I like to think of it that way. But the name of the poem is not The Road Less Traveled. It's The Road Not Taken. And to me, this poem was always a warning. So what if it were recited like this? Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere, ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference.